Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And if you grew up watching the Disney Channel like so many people did, good news, Disney Plus is going to be bringing the Disney channels back on Disney Plus.
Rumor.
This is a rumor, but it's coming from the information, and they're like 90.
They're usually pretty right. Yeah.
90% accurate. This is weird. So Disney Plus, you know,
They're trying to be Tubi.
They're trying to be Tubi, and they could have bought Tubi, but they didn't. But
Now they're copying it.
But we're coming full circle, guys. So everybody was supposed to cut the cord, right? So everybody stopped watching the Disney channels, and it's all like, oh, everybody come over here to Disney Plus. Oh, okay, well, that's not working anymore. So now we're just going to reactivate all of our Disney channels on Disney Plus. It's called television. It's called cable.
Yeah.
Except you're paying Disney now instead of Comcast. You know, like, this is nuts. We're going to talk about it. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture, news, views, and rants. Guys, you get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo. So, so these new channels, are they going to be like regular TV where you have tons of commercials?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's literally just television.
Yes.
Oh my God.
So, look, there are reasons for this, because I know streaming is overwhelming for a lot of people, especially when you get dropped on like Netflix or something. You don't know what to watch because there's like tens of thousands of whatever. A lot of people just like to, find a couple of channels they like and just watch it. And I'm going to be honest, I'm one of those people. I'm an old head, and I just figured it's because I'm an old head. But like, I love Roku, and I love Tubi, and I love Pluto, and I will find a couple of channels I like, and I'll just put Doctor Who on or something.
Yeah, I like that, because you can watch, like, if there's like literally like a channel that runs like Airwolf and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's just Airwolf.
Just watch the old shows. It'll just run through episodes and stuff, and it's really kind of cool. You can just stick it on there for background noise or whatever.
Anime, game shows,
right?
Whatever.
They have different channels that just rotate, like different animes, or and we do that a lot. Like a lot of paranormal stuff, they'll run in the background, just usually for noise. So it just makes it easier, and a lot of times they're free channels. Well, now Disney is seeing that everybody's watching that because it's free. Yeah, and they're like, we got to get in on that too, and then we can get ad money and give you low cost, but you give us ad money.
That's one thing is because Roku and Pluto are free, and Tubi I think's still free, but they have a paid tier. But how they monetize you is the advertising, but Roku lost a bunch of money, so I don't think it's going to be free forever. But I mean, just think about where we're at right now compared to how it used to be. It used to be that you had to pay for TV, and then you'd have to pay for cable, or you'd have antenna, and you'd get like 3 or 4 stations on an antenna, right? Now you can just go to Walmart, buy a good TV for like $200, $300. It's got Roku built into it, and you've got like 1,000 channels. All you need is an internet connection.
Right.
So it's kind of, but that's what people are doing. I think a lot of times they're cutting the streaming services now, because they're like, well, my TV's got 1,000 channels built into it.
Why do I need you?
Why do I need you?
And then Disney, this is going to be on their app. This is the same app that they have the Hulu now on the Disney Channel. Yeah. I mean, they have it on like the regular for thing too, but I'm saying they're just rolling everything together onto this, and they're trying to make this new network. Which I wonder who said they were going to put Hulu on. Well, they said they're Hulu on Disney Plus on Hulu, but it ended up being the other way around. But still, you said they were going to merge them for quite a while now.
Well, it was kind of like the Crunchyroll thing. Like I was told by somebody at Warner who's no longer there that they were going to get rid of. They were either going to roll Crunchyroll into HBO Max or shut it down completely. And here they wound up selling it off to Sony, because but in this case, you said that they were going to merge Hulu and Disney Plus, and they did, and now they're going to try to turn it into Tubi, which they could have bought. So again, Tubi, they could have bought the whole thing for like $400 million, I think is what Rupert Murdoch paid for it, and they could have just put Disney content on it, and it would have been a hell of a lot cheaper. Well, yeah.
So they can't beat Netflix. They can't beat Netflix at that. So they're going to try to go right into Supreme with like Tubi and Roku.
And then, and you know what's going to happen? The next thing that's going to happen is going to be like HBO, where they start putting the free channels on the Roku too. Because that's what HBO's doing. They took a lot of their shows, like their science fiction shows and stuff like that, and their paranormal shows off. And now they have Warner Brothers channels on Roku.
Well, Disney, we talked about this before, has an issue, like, a lot of the streaming services have an issue with old to new content. Netflix has a good balance of like, it's almost 50-50 about people that tune in to watch older shows, older content, tied with people coming in to watch new stuff. Well, Disney's, they're a little better than they were before, but they have an issue where everybody comes in to watch the new shows and then kind of leave. So this way, I think they're maybe thinking people will stay and just run the channels in the background. Oh, you can watch all the Disney Channel original movies on this channel. You can watch all the animated features on this channel. I think they're hoping people are just going to watch more of the old stuff and just watch more in general.
And they might, I mean, look, I'm going to be honest. This might scratch an itch for a lot of people because I would love to see an 80s Disney Channel with just 80s Disney Channel content on it. You know, like the old, like Pooh Corner.
They have a Disney Afternoon channel.
They have a Disney Afternoon channel. So in a lot of ways, I'm like, this might actually be better than Disney Plus is right now.
And they'll make more money because even if you're paying for the base service, they're going to make all the money from that and all the money from ads.
Yeah, I mean
It's kind of smart.
They're hitting that drum, I know, with millennials with the Disney Afternoon. Like you see all kinds of 90s Disney merch and all kinds, you know what I'm saying? So I could see that. But I mean, just to show you, like we've talked about this, Disney Channel was the biggest thing for kids until YouTube and TikTok came along and it fell off a cliff. And, you know, they just keep rerunning the same stuff over and over and over and over again. But yeah, they throw it on Disney Plus and they go back to the old heads. And they're saying that Gen Z and millennials still watch linear TV.
Yeah. A lot of them want to watch the older shows. Like it's amazing to me, like you see Friends merch and everything else. That's because of like the Gen Z. They want the Friends stuff. They want, The Office, all the old stuff.
Yeah, our kids.
These shows suck.
Our kids watch a lot of comedies from like you know, they watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine. They're watching that last night.
That isn't like really old.
No, but I'm still, we're talking shows that are like 10 years old.
Shows
Office,
that won't get
15,
made anymore.
Community would never get made anymore. Parks and Rec would never get made anymore. Even the Good Place. I don't think the Good Place would get made now. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's so hypersensitive, but you know, we've done a couple videos on this where people are watching the old shows anyway. That's what they're choosing. They're over, and this is kind of catastrophic for Hollywood because there's so much content out there now that people are just watching old TV and they're listening to old records and they're playing old video games. I did a video on that the other day that Gen Z kids want to play retro games now. They don't want the new stuff.
And it's not because you have more content than ever, but they're going back to the content that was proven, the content that was popular, the content that created pop culture, because they've proven they're good shows. Back then, you didn't have as many shows, but people put their best effort into all those shows. Now you have so many things greenlit and so many shows, and three-quarters of them are shit. Yeah. Let's be honest. You know, at least back then, if a show didn't perform in the first season, it was canceled. If it made it as far as Friends, it was for a reason. If it was made it as far as The Office, it was for a reason. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, and they're still popular. So yeah, they said Disney is going to expand on the market of channels that function like old style TV. I mean, this is so freaking weird. Everybody's like, "Oh, you got to cut the cord and go to streaming. Oh, streaming is the future. Everybody's going to be able to pick what they want to watch whenever they watch it without commercials." Well, okay, that's kind of overwhelming. Let's give them channels. Oh, okay, let's put some ads on that. It's like, okay, we're right back to where we freaking started from. And then the next thing is going to happen.
Complicated it.
Next thing that's going to happen is Disney will be like, oh, we need more money. Let's put our channels on Roku and on Tubi.
Right, which is you make content for other services, which is what they should have stuck with.
They should have. But,
if they didn't do Disney Plus, I think the pandemic would have hit them harder. But they said on here the company plans to create a series of such channels within its Disney Plus streaming service that show programming in specific genres, including either Star Wars or Marvel branded shows, according to people involved in the planning.
So you have Star Wars TV. You could have, actually, it'd be funny if they had like a Star Wars, because they have a Godzilla channel on Pluto, but they mix it up with like Gamera and stuff too. It'd be funny if they had a Star Wars. It'd be funny if they had a Star Wars channel and they threw in some other like Star Wars adjacent stuff. You know, oh, we'll also put some, Battlestar Galactica on there.
Oh, they won't. But I'm like, this sounds to me like, when we were kids, do you remember like they had the Disney Channel when we were kids and they just run like the same like Star Wars stuff, like Ewoks and Return of the Jedi, and they just run it over and over and over again. Do you remember that?
Yeah, and they had a lot of shows and a lot of movies that Disney didn't even own. Like they used to run a lot of like other companies' animation stuff, like Raggedy Ann. I remember they used to run that a lot.
I remember that.
And oh my God, what was that one that was really depressing? The Mouse and His Child. That was, did you ever see that?
I didn't watch that one.
My God, that was depressing.
But I didn't see it.
There was a wind-up mouse dad with his son, and it was like this, they were having an existential crisis, and something with dog food can
You're
and
gonna say dicks. I was gonna say what?
into the abyss of despair.
Wait. When was this made?
70s.
I was gonna say it had to be 70s or 80s because it was a time, guys. It was a time. They wanted to traumatize children as much as possible. And there were some of those things, when you're looking back at it now, you're like, oh my God, this would never fly today. Like,
no.
Kids, I mean, now it's...
The Point, they used to have that too. That was actually the same company. It was the company that did the old strawberry shortcake. So
kids, we were like, we were watching Care Bears and Ponies Fight Satan.
They had the Care Bears movie on there a lot. I remember
now Care Bears and Ponies just have parties. So... And then you got something that looks like a peanut or a balls. Was it Dibble? Was it?
Oh, Dibble the nutsack.
So
yeah,
character looks like a nutsack.
I was so disappointed. So we were making fun of Dibble. Dibble was kind of the unofficial mascot of Clownfish TV at the beginning.
That was so long ago.
That was like 4 or 5 years ago.
It was a long time ago.
Whenever we really started doing this often. But then like Dibble was in the new Care Bear show, and Dibble looked like a testicle. And I was really disappointed because I don't know why, but I expected Dibble to sound more testicular.
I don't know, what does testicle sound like?
I don't know, more male.
Oh, okay.
More male. It didn't sound male enough. It needed to sound like,
Maybe Dibble was a girl.
I don't know.
I don't even know. Don't care.
2024.
That's not
I'm
important.
not asking about Dibble's gender.
What's important is Disney putting channels on their service.
Testicles aren't important.
Disney is. Okay.
They said, the precise timing for the new channels isn't clear. Their launch is part of Disney's effort to get its streaming subscribers to spend more time on Disney Plus rather than clicking off to other apps and to boost ad revenue.
There it is. Ad revenue. That's what it's all about, guys. And it goes into the thing that they keep talking about churn. They keep talking about like Netflix can retain viewership and Disney can't. They're trying to compete with Netflix by going with Tubi.
Yeah. They said Netflix. Oh, this is interesting. In the same vein, Netflix in late 2022 explored creating a store with apps for users to subscribe to and watch other streaming services within Netflix. So it could be that Disney's basically like, well, they do that with Hulu right now, right? You can like add HBO or add different packages. Yeah, you can with the live.
I can see Disney doing that. Well, they're already making deals with ESPN with other places, so why wouldn't they do that too? That everybody benefits.
Yeah. So they want you to have your live TV. They want you to use your Hulu, Disney Plus, whatever app, have your live TV there, and then possibly bring other streaming services or channels, paid channels into it. Because Amazon does that. They have like certain paid channels. They had like Toku and a couple other ones, some of the anime channels that you could pay for. But now they're free on Pluto.
So is it Dulu?
Dulu is other.
They can't call it Hisney because that would be sexist.
Hisney and Dulu.
That's misogynistic.
Isn't a Dulu somebody that delivers babies?
It's a doula.
Okay. Whatever. Dulu, doula. These initiatives reflect an evolution within streaming as companies have reached a critical mass of numbers. Okay, so this is basically what we talked about. They hit a ceiling. They can't get more subs, right? So now they got to keep the people they have happy and they got to keep them on the app. Because right now, Disney Plus, the only reason people subscribe to it are those handful of Marvel shows, whatever, Disney movies, stuff like that. They watch their movie and then they leave. And they go watch something else.
And they want to prevent people from canceling, which is one of the problems they're having. People come in to watch the new show and then they cancel. But keeping people watching helps drive ad revenue by increasing the frequency with which viewers come across commercial breaks. And trust me, Hulu without ad-free Hulu is a load of shit because they'll have like 8 minutes of commercial breaks.
Oh my God, Hulu's the worst. Hulu, hands down. I mean, and again, I'm even talking the free channels. I guess they call them fast channels, which we used to just call television. Okay, but even those, they have a lot of ads, but nowhere near what Hulu has. Hulu, you pause a show, there's a freaking ad on the screen off to the side. Like, it's ridiculous. And it's always the same, like 3 ads over and over and over and over again. They said, they're kind of late to it, though. They said companies including Pluto, Tubi, Roku have rolled out fast channels. And they typically carry a continuous feed of programming. Yeah, it's just TV. That's all it is.
Fast channels is free ad-supported streaming television.
Free ads. Why do they? That's what all TV was. That's what broadcast TV was.
It was basically television.
It's just call it TV.
It's TV. What we all knew as TV. They completely overcomplicated it.
Yeah, they said the challenge is that hundreds of channels exist across various streaming apps, both large and small. They're pre-programmed with 24 hours of content, but capturing very little viewership. So they said basically what's going on is there's too much to watch. So there's like all these channels out there, but like nobody's watched them. They said advertisers are going to feel more confident about going to Disney because it's Disney.
Well, it sounds like Disney's going to try to focus on things like a Marvel channel, a Star Wars channel.
Yeah.
But they'll probably do something with Disney Channel originals. They'll probably do like Disney Afternoon. I'm not saying, I mean, if I were to guess. Things like that are going to get watched.
If Disney were smart, we know they're not, current year Disney is not smart, but they have been betting on nostalgia. If they mimicked 80s and 90s and even 2000s era Disney Channel with the programming, I think people would actually watch it. If they could go back in time and watch Disney Channel from when they were a kid with the same programs from when they were a kid, they would totally watch. I would watch it. With all the criticism of Disney, if they had 80s Disney Channel on with all the stuff we used to watch in the 80s and all those old shows, I'd watch it.
Good stuff.
I'd watch it.
They go on to talk about YouTube is the biggest streaming service in the U.S. Measured by time spent. We keep seeing these infographics saying that YouTube is dominating, which we've been telling you. We've showed you this many times. Yep. That YouTube is kicking their ass, which is why Hollywood is freaking out. So they're trying to do their version of something that's not YouTube, but you know what I mean? Like the idea that they're trying to steal the ad revenue from YouTube by getting more people watching. Because then they need the engagement and viewership.
Yeah. Yeah. They do, and again, this is all just Disney's. Basically, they've kind of hit a wall, and they're like they got to make more money.
This last part, though, this is what could have told Disney this. Reach without viewership does not add up to enough ad opportunities to help clients achieve desired outcomes. It doesn't matter how big you are. It doesn't matter. We're Disney. We own everything. If people aren't watching your shit, it's not going to matter. You also might want to fix your shit and make your stuff better.
Yeah. Yeah. So there we go, guys. We'll see what happens. We'll see if this turns it around for Disney or not. But it's so weird to see everything just go full circle. That we're right back to TV. Mm-hmm. It was called TV.
TV with more steps.
TV with more steps. So we're gonna wrap it up. Please subscribe. We'll talk later.
Bye.